Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Paige, this is Seeking Alexandria, and guys, we are here to chat today. It's a little mini review time of the new stuff from Bareminerals. It is their Bounce and Blur collection. They released 2 little eye palettes and 4 blushes, and I saw these at Ulta and I was like, y'all, we have to pick them up. I was actually with my mom, and I immediately started diving my little fingers into those pans, and I knew right then and there that I needed to retrieve them, come back and do a video for you, because when I saw them in store and then when I swatched them, played with them, and read the description, I feel like there are a couple things that after I've used them now for a week, you guys would want to know before purchasing, just so you know if they are for you or not. Now let's first go ahead and chat about their eyeshadow palettes. They did release 2 of them. They are $29 a piece. You get 5 shades per palette, and I'm going to go ahead and read you the description, the information off of the Ulta website, while you go ahead and look at some swatches here. So it says that these are fingertip friendly bouncy powder eyeshadow palettes that build and blend effortlessly. They are for sheer to bold color that's beautifully blurred. This weightless cream to powder eyeshadow resists creasing, fallout, and blends like a dream, no brush needed. And if you're trying to imagine consistency, think closer to like Stila Heaven's Hue Highlight and not so much like Kylie Wet Set. The ones from the Kylie Wet Set were a little bit more firm when you pressed into them, and so they made a little bit more of a rigid look in the pan. And these ones for me tend to lean more on like the nice squishy light side, again more cued toward like the Stila Heaven's Hue Highlight, so if that's kind of the consistency we're looking for. Now for these, just to break them down on like a real quick level, I do think that overall they're a decent palette. For $29, I do think 5 shades is a little bit on the pricey side, but I also know that this is a formulation that's newer, so it probably took a little more time and money to develop and get a different consistency in there. For me, what I like about these is the versatility. Not only, like they said, can you use them with your fingers, you know, they're very easy to blend and work out, and they do blend like a dream. I'll actually go ahead and throw up this eye look today, which I did using the Dawn palette, which is the more cool tone palette, and I just started off with that center shade, took it all over the lid. Again, very easy to use. They blend out very nicely. You do have a level to which you can build them up, which is okay, but after going through, as you guys can see, just adding in those lighter tones to the eye, you can brighten it up and you can manipulate the color, which I do appreciate, but it's not going to be super far in either direction. It's not going to be really dark, and it's also not going to be very light. You're not going to get like a super deep intense look out of this. I find more than anything in the natural light that these do pull on the lighter side, in my opinion. Now I did also go ahead and use this one. This is the Dusk palette, and for me, when I tried these out, I wanted to try them both on a set and an unset lid, just to see if maybe one applied better than the other, maybe one creased, so on and so forth, because for me the consistency of these I was just a little bit leery on. And what I can tell you is that when I applied this one, I used this on a set base, and then today I was on an unset lid, and I do think that when you set the lid, you get a little less pigmentation from these. I think it kind of dulls them down just a little bit, which is pretty typical of eyeshadow, so I wasn't mad about it, but again, just something that I felt like needed to be tested. But even though you do lose a little bit of that pigmentation, perhaps, you don't lose any of the blendable factor, which I really appreciate. These have a very nice like creamy texture that does fade off into a powder, so if you are blending them with your fingers even just over a set base, that powder doesn't get in there and make these chunky or inconsistent. It just helps you blend them, and honestly I didn't have any issues with it either way. I do think for pigmentation purposes I like them better with an unset lid, but because my eyelids are more on the, I would say, like creasy, inhospitable side of things, they don't last as long when they're not set down. But again, I do prefer the look of it overall, so for me it's worth it, but you kind of have to gauge that on how you like your makeup to look. Now what I will say about these that I do appreciate is that lately in the world of palettes, we're always going for pigment. We want everything to look bold and beautiful, and we want it to be intense, and we want these really, you know, crazy like Instagram eyes, and that's really beautiful. Don't get me wrong, I love them. You guys know I love bold eye looks, but what I like about this collection in general, but especially the eyeshadows, is that this is the first time I have seen an eyeshadow palette that when I look at it, I'm like, wow, my mom would really get a lot of use out of this. Like, she would really enjoy these because they're easy to apply and the color isn't over the top. It isn't that crazy Instagram eye that everybody's really going for, you know, with the dark colors and the wings and the cut creases, blah, blah, blah. This is not that. If you are into that solely and you're really looking for that pigmentation and that intensity, this will not be a product for you. But if you are the type of person that you want a nice, easy look that you can just throw on, you don't have to mess with it, you don't want a brush, maybe you want it for travel, you're like, hey, I want something that I can literally throw on the plane or in the taxi between meetings or whatever, this is a great option for that. I think this is very travel bag friendly in that concept. Now, as far as the color stories in these palettes go, are they my favorite? No. I think for the purpose behind the palette and being so quick and easy go-to kind of thing, I'm not mad at it, but for me, the only thing I would change as far as the colors are these 2 shades right here. I wish that they didn't have 2 out of the 5 shades in both palettes that were so dark. I could see having one or the other, but having having both, I just feel like you're like robbing this collection of another color, whether that's like a pop or that is something maybe a little bit on the brighter side. So overall, do I think that these are worth it by themselves? For $29, I do think it's an interesting concept. I think if it's worth it or not to you will depend on what you're looking for in your makeup. Now moving over to the blushes, these I thought were very, very interesting. Again, released in 4 different shades, and they are how much are these? These are $29 a piece, and these are described as a bouncy building shade that blend effortlessly for a beautiful, blurred, natural, healthy looking flush. They are a weightless cream to powder blush that blends like a dream, no brush needed. And for me, these were probably the thing that I was like, holy crap, like I need to play around, because I was very, very intrigued with the idea of a blush that would blend onto your face in such a way that you would not need a brush. Now, you guys know me, I am like a brush queen. I love them. I use the same brushes all the time. And what I will tell you about these is that yes, you can apply them with your finger. I do like it. They work nicely. I do feel like though I'm left with that desire to still blend out my cheeks, but that's because I am more on like this full coverage, full on, cake it on, get me going kind of look. And if you are not this type of a person, if you like that more natural flush look, if you don't mind, you know, kind of doing a little bit of this and just like patting things on, I think that you would really, really enjoy these because the texture is beautiful. The pigmentation is great. Now, I will tell you, out of the 4 shades, my favorite is Coral Cloud, which is this one. Oh my word, you guys. It is so beautiful. I love just a good coral blush in general, but this to me is so freaking beautiful. And they really do. Like, you saw the application of that. It's so nice and smooth. And these are incredibly weightless on the cheeks, just like the eyeshadows. I didn't mention that about those. Incredibly, incredibly weightless. And then here is this one. This is again Pink Sky. Oh my gosh, so good. But anyways, I really do appreciate that weightless fact because there are a lot of people that they don't like to feel that heavy, that caked on, that intensity. They don't like that. And I think that if that's you and you don't love the feeling of full face caked on makeup, that this might be a line for you to check out, because not only is it going to be on the more like natural-esque side of things, but it's also something that you have a lot more control and manipulation in, and you don't have to have a ton of brushes and you don't have to have, you know, all the crap that the rest of us makeup weirdos have. You can really just do this on the go and have that ease, which is really nice. I mean, just look at the color story even. Like, it's so nice and light and natural, and I don't know, overall, I really appreciate this line, and I was really shocked because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, going into this review, I was not impressed. I was like, oh my god, like it's kind of like the pigmentation is weird, it's really, really light. And when you're in natural lighting, by the way, like right now I'm in controlled studio lights, so this right here looks a lot more intense, but out in the real world, it pulls very, very light and very like light purple smoky eye, if you will. But going into this, after seeing the first time that I used these, because like I told you guys, I've used them now several times, I was really, really cautious in that respect because I was like, you know, am I gonna like this? Am I going to really appreciate these? And what I found is that I appreciate them because they are different, and I like that idea. I like the concept of where they were going. Again, do I think that these are something that's for everyone? Absolutely not. First time I used this palette, I was like, absolutely not. It was actually the Dusk palette that I used. I was like, this is so sad. I'm not getting any pigmentation. I'm not getting any, like, where's the ass behind this? Like, what am I getting? And that's when I realized if you are looking at this and just from like a natural perspective, you are pursuing it, it is not bad. And then when you read the description, you learn about it, it does kind of fall in line with what they say it is. Again, I think it depends on the demographic. I think my mom would really, really enjoy these. I will probably show her how to use them just so she can get a feel for it, and I'll let you guys know what she thinks. But for me, you guys, that is it. I hope that this super, super random video was helpful to you in some way. If you saw these, maybe you were curious, let me know down below. I would love, love, love to hear from you, especially on something like this, because I'm curious. And if you haven't checked me out on Instagram and on Twitter, please do not hesitate to do so. They are both linked in the description, and you can subscribe and turn on your post notifications here on the wonderful world of YouTube if you have not done so yet, because I do upload 5 videos a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They go up bright and early between 6 and 7 a.m. my time here in Northern Michigan. And you guys, that is it. Thank you all so much for watching. Please do not forget to have a great day, night, weekend, whatever it is when you're watching this. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Oh my good lord. Oh my good lord. Oh my good lord. Oh my god. Hello. 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 Oh my god, I have a rat tail. How does this happen to me? How? How can one person have so many rat tails? Like, how? I mean, when someone brings you a Diet Coke, you don't just let it sit there, okay? You drink that shit.